Not even 12 hours after Kristaps Porzingis was traded to the Celtics, we have another big-time trade. This time, the Warriors and Wizards, according to Shams and Woj, have agreed on a trade that's sending Chris Paul to the Warriors, and I can't believe I'm saying this, Jordan Poole, a protected 2030 pick, a second-round pick in 2027, and Ryan Rollins to Washington. I cannot believe this trade. Why on earth would the Warriors do this? Like, I'm in shock that they would even think that trading a 24-year-old and picks for a 38-year-old Chris Paul. Now, don't get me wrong, like, Chris Paul isn't great, but he's still a fine player. But how do you do that? What is going on in Mike Dunleavy's mind to go, this is a good trade? Jordan Poole has his issues. Don't get me wrong. Jordan Poole has his struggles. He's not a perfect player by any means. But why would you give up someone who some Warriors fans consider to be the quote-unquote future, at the very least a building block for what the team could be in the future, for Chris Paul? It's not as if the Warriors had some issues at the guard rotation that Chris Paul is going to solve. They had plenty of good guards. Curry, Clay, DiVincenzo, Poole himself. There was not a single reason to trade for Chris Paul. Yeah, Dante DiVincenzo's a free agent, probably not going to resign, but still, they had other people that they could plug in, like Moses Moody, who they've drafted and have barely played, but instead they trade for Chris Paul, and my mind can't wrap around why the Warriors would do this. This is an incredible trade for Washington. People have criticized what they've gotten for Bradley Beal and for Kristaps, but when you take into the context both their contracts and what's going on with the Wizards themselves, it's somewhat understandable as to why they got so little. But the fact, it's just kind of funny to think about the fact that they got like Chris Paul and Landry Shamet for Beal, and then Tyus Jones for Kristaps, and then they turn around and turn Chris Paul into Jordan Poole and a pick. Like, that's unbelievable. The Wizards, honestly, have done a pretty solid job. They've done a good job, even considering, again, the circumstances of the Beal no trade clause, Kristaps having a player option. Now it's really going to come down to whether or not Kyle Kuzma resigns. It's pretty clear he's going to decline his $13 million player option. Obviously, he's worth way more than that right now. But man, Mike Dunleavy is already not having a good start to his Warriors career. Draymond declined his option, even though it's probably going to end with him resigning, especially now after the Jordan Poole trade. I don't see a reason for him not to stay. It's just, and now you trade away, again, what I was saying before, a potential building block for the future for a 38-year-old Chris Paul, who has continuously declined with each season. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, his points per game has dropped, like, significantly each season. But they, for some reason, think that he's going to be the answer. Chris Paul is 38 years old, again, continuously declining. I hate to say it, playoff choke artist. Why on earth would the Warriors do this? So now what are they going to do? Is Chris Paul going to come off the bench? Or are they going to run him at the 1 and move Curry as, he's already an off-ball guard, but is he just going to be more of that now? Is he going to play the 2 and Clay's going to go to the 3? Like, I don't know why Mike Dunleavy thought that trading for a point guard was a good idea, especially one who, I don't know if he's necessarily worse than Jordan Poole, but he's gonna be worse than Jordan Poole. Like, Jordan Poole's only 24 years old. Chris Paul is gonna probably retire in 2 years. I cannot sit here and believe that this trade just happened. Like, wow, man. Like, the draft is 5 hours away, and this probably isn't even, like, this isn't gonna be the only deal of the day. I can guarantee you that. Again, whether it's Zion / Brandon Ingram being moved, you know, some teams are going to trade up. The Lakers already traded up into the higher into the second round. The Nuggets traded up yesterday, further into the first round. This is just insane. This has been a for what many thought were going to be like a pretty tame and, I don't want to say boring, but nonchalant offseason, it's been pretty wild. I don't know if many people had Jordan Poole getting traded on their bingo card, especially considering that like just half an hour ago or 45 minutes ago, Jake Fisher from Yahoo Sports said that the Warriors were just then taking calls on Jordan Poole, and just like that, he's gone and in Washington. He is going to thrive in Washington. Not only will he, because a lot of the issues with Jordan Poole is he struggles a lot for a young player, which, yeah, but it's hard for him, a player like that, to really grow and have confidence when every mistake they make is under such a large magnifying glass. Like, any mistake he makes is going to be a meme on the internet because he plays for the Warriors. Now he's going to Washington. No one cares about the Wizards. I hate to say it. I don't know any Wizards fans. I'm sorry if you're a Wizards fan watching this, but it's just the truth. No one cares about the Wizards. He's going to go there, and he's probably going to play some very good basketball for a pretty bad team, and that's perfectly fine because it's going to allow him to develop the way he wants to and become, hopefully, a very good player for them as they enter a full-on rebuild. But, man, wow, I had no intentions of making a video today. I'm already working on some other projects myself with work, but here we are. The Wizards have been just doing some crazy moves. And yeah, actually, the more I think about it, the Wizards basically at the end of the day, turned Bradley Beal into Jordan Poole in a first, because obviously they only got Shamet and Chris Paul in the initial deal, but flipping Chris Paul is technically, in a way, a part of that deal, and that's a pretty solid return. Not ideal for a player of Bradley Beal's caliber, but it could have been a lot worse. Like, they could have just kept Chris Paul and Landry Shamet and went into next season with basically no inspiring young players aside from maybe Johnny Davis. Like, Denny Avdia is not very good. Corey Kispert is what Corey Kispert is. He's not going to emerge into a star. He's a very good role player, and that's probably all he'll ever be. But now they have Tyus Jones, who's going to try and prove that he can be the lead guard for a team, and Jordan Poole, who's going to be an intriguing young player that could potentially turn into an all-star for them. Like, Jordan Poole's numbers without Steph Curry last season were incredible. Like, when he's like the number one option on a team, he's a very good player. Is that team going to win many games? Probably not. That's why he's on the Wizards. But at the end of the day, it's going to be a great opportunity for him to grow, and I am very excited to see that, because I know a lot of Knicks fans don't like Jordan Poole because of all the RJ Barrett comparisons, but I like Jordan Poole a lot. I'm really excited to see what happens with him and Tyus Jones. The Wizards are probably going to be one of the more interesting bad teams to watch, just because they have a lot of question marks of, like, could this player be good? Like, is Johnny Davis going to continue to be bad? Is Tyus Jones going to be that lead guard that people think he could be? What's Jordan Poole going to play like? It's going to be really interesting to monitor, and I'm excited to see it happen. But that being said, I'm going to cut it here. Thank you again for watching. Reminder, podcast with Noah starting up soon. Link in the description. Comment below any other moves you think you could see before the draft at 8. Going to try to get this video up very soon. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see y'all in the next one.